Hello, it's Joel Sharpton at The Rogues Life on Twitter. You can also follow me at meandthegeekpod.com for a weekly geekly conversation with a different geek and a peek into their geeky world. But today we're talking about Daredevil on Netflix, and this is our review of the 5th episode. It's called World on Fire. I want to start right off the top by saying if you haven't at least watched through the 5th episode, now is not the time to watch these videos. Come back and check us out after you are caught up with the series. But here we go. Episode 5, man, what a great development for Foggy Nelson's character. Foggy Bear and Marcy. I love this storyline, the ex-girlfriend and the old firm and their interactions. Her calling him Foggy Bear especially, and Karen's humor at that, or reaction to that, was pretty cool too. I started this series again the other night from episode 1 with my wife, and so we're watching it slowly as I'm sort of racing through and trying to watch it as fast as I can for the first time. And she loves Eldon Hansen, the actor behind Foggy Nelson, and the character himself. And she's right. I can't wait until she gets to this episode and see how she reacts to Foggy's past, or a little hint of Foggy's past. For the second time in this series, we've now seen the results, the consequences, as we discussed in last episode's review, of saying Fisk's name. A Russian uses it in an interrogation room trying to get a deal with the cops, and he is immediately gunned down by the policeman, nonchalantly. This is something that they've done many times and recently, as referenced by the incident at the bodega. So, this is a completely corrupt police force, or a thoroughly corrupt police force, at least you should say. The next line that I really was surprised about, and I love the way that it played out, Vanessa says, Kingpin says to Vanessa, "What kind of a gun is that in your purse?" What a turning point in Fisk and Vanessa's storyline. It's clear now that Vanessa knows what kind of a man Fisk is, and all she wants is for him to be open and honest with her about that. It looks like she's taking her place right alongside him at the head of the city, and then they actually physically do that in front of the window as they watch Hell's Kitchen and parts of New York burn after the explosions. I really can't wait to see how this all plays out. In the episode, there's a little twist. You see the Russians put out a $1 million bounty on information on Fisk's location, and you think that call's made and that someone accepts the offer, but as it actually turns out, Fisk has everyone in his pocket the whole time, and it just continues to expose the odds that Matt and Daredevil are up against. It's very, very exciting. This series is bold. They push forward very, very quickly with storylines. So many things here in a traditional broadcast series would have been played out over episodes and episodes, and here they just force right through, taking their time. It doesn't feel rushed, but at the same time, it's just very, very action-packed and plotline-packed. Matt, in this episode, he ends the episode in handcuffs, or about to be put in handcuffs. It looks like there's no way for him to get away as the police are all surrounding him. And again, this show punishes me because I have to go to work instead of watching the next episode. I told a friend the other day that this show is too good to exist and be available for me to watch, but me not have watched it yet. That's the way I feel. It almost hurts me that I haven't seen every single episode of it yet. So thank you to Netflix. One other interesting note that I want to point out here is that so far, and we're 5 episodes through now, this series has not stuck with traditional act structures and act breaks, especially. If you look at the way that broadcast TV is shot and structured, especially when you watch it removed from the commercial environment, when you're watching it on Netflix or on DVD or Blu-ray, it's obvious that they play to the commercial, they write to the commercial, and every time there's a commercial break, we need to leave them on a mini cliffhanger so that the audience knows they have to come back. Netflix series, and especially this Daredevil series, has just abandoned that altogether. There aren't those cliffhangers within the episode necessarily. What they do a great job of, though, is enforcing the bingeability. Man, they end the episode on such a strong note, and I've really, really enjoyed that so far. It just compels you to continue further with the story. So that's my thoughts on episode 5, World on Fire. Stick around and subscribe to the channel, and you can get all of our videos as I continue my march through Marvel's Daredevil on Netflix. Hope you're enjoying these videos. I'll be back soon with more.